This is going to be a video about desoldering tools. There's different ways of doing it, and it starts out with something like this. I can put that right there and let you see it. That's a different type of solder sucker, and what you do, you heat it up with your soldering tool, soldering iron. Let me just show you. And then you use this at the same time that you're using your soldering tool. I'm going to let my iron heat up. Okay, it's hot. And let's pick a thing right here. So what you do, you put your iron there, you get it good and melted. One thing that about desoldering old solder, like from the 70s, the 80s or older, is that the solder is going to be really hard or harder to melt than new solder. Don't ask me why, it's just the way it is. So we're going to put this on here. I've got this set at 301 Celsius, and it just now solders. Just now melted. So you take your desoldering tool while it's melted, and that's what you do. You just use it like the same way you'd use an eyedropper. And now you can hear that solder's in there. Let me put my soldering iron down. It's going to be, where'd it go? Now it's right there. Okay. I'm not sure you're going to be able to tell it. But anyway, it did work. It doesn't work perfect. It might take a little more working with your soldering iron, putting it on there and kind of wiggle the part out. But it will work eventually. This is the cheapest way to go for a desoldering tool. I used it for a little while, and then I got tired of that, and I thought I found something better. And that would be this. This you plug up. It's like a soldering iron with a bulb attached, which is a little better. I would plug it up and let it sit for about 15 minutes before I used it, because it has to heat up. There's no temperature settings or nothing on this. So you just take it, you put it on the end, and once you see that the solder has melted, and this, like I said, this is about a 50 watt, something like that. So it takes a little time for it to heat up. And once again, when you're working on this old solder, this is a Xena TV board from the 80s. So that solder has been on there a while. And it's going to take a while to melt it. So what you do, you go like that before you ever touch the solder. Put the tip on there. It's got a hole in it, so you just put it down on the part. Let the solder melt and let go of the bulb. If it didn't work, you have to do it again. And this is kind of a slow way to do it, because like I said, it's 50 watts. 50 watts isn't a lot of heat. It's really safe if you have a 50 watt soldering iron. But anyway, yeah, that worked. So this one costs probably, I imagine you probably get it, I'm guessing, for about $15. I'm guessing. So that's one way. Then after they made that, they came over to something like this. I believe this is about, well, it is. It's a 40 watt. 40 watt. And what you do, you take this button here, and it'll catch when you push it in. And it's got this button that releases it. So you put it on there. And this one actually melts the solder a little faster. I don't know how, because this is 40 watt, the other one's 50 watt. But anyway, it's melted. You push the button. and it worked pretty good. Now the next one, before I show you the next one, I'm going to tell you this. I've watched Northridge fix. I don't know if you watch his channel, you probably do. He's really good at fixing surface mount parts. Really good. And one of the best tips that he's ever give on his YouTube channel is to take low melt solder that melts at a lower temperature, melt it in with the solder that's already on your board, and then use a way to suck the solder off of it. The next best thing, this is actually it's like desoldering tape, and all it is just a copper strap. You can get it in in different lengths, but anyway, I got a cheap little round of it right here. And what you do, you take your tape and you put it on a part, and then you put your soldering tip on the other side of it, and you just let that melt. And what it does, it melts right into the copper strap. And now you can see this little copper strap has absorbed some of the solder off the soldering joint. It works really well. Just put it on there like that. You got to wait a little while. And like I said, sometime you'll get it soldered to the board and you have to redo it. But that's the next best way to do it. Okay, the final way to do it that I have is a desoldering gun. This costs you probably, I can't remember how much this one costs. I got it off Amazon. It's a model S993A. You just put that in Amazon or eBay and this tool is going to show up. And what it does, I've had this plugged up, and when you plug it up, and on the white one like this, the cheap one, you have to turn the thermostat wide open so that it'll be ready to suck the solder off. If you try to turn it down, it'll say something like, say down to 270. It's not really 270, so the thermostat on it is not really accurate. But if you turn it wide open and just leave it like that, I've even put hot glue on it to hold it in place. But yeah, if you put it wide open, it's not going to burn it up or do any damage to it. And it takes about, I say about 15 minutes for it to get ready. But once it is, and you push the button, it has a little vacuum in it. And that works pretty good. Yeah, I think you can see it that time. That actually took it off. But this gun is called a S-993A. And this really works better than anything. They have a blue one on Amazon or eBay. It costs like $300, maybe $325. It's way better quality, but this one here works plenty good enough for any hobbyist. And actually, I think it'd be okay for a person that had a shop that did it regular. And what you do, all you do is, after you let it cool, this right here, you just push it, open it up, take this little plastic container out, and it has a filter back here that catches it. And you just have to empty this every once in a while. I don't think I'll ever go back to using the regular solder suckers. I'll probably use this from now on. This with the combination of the tape. That will get just about any kind of solder off. these are just a few ways of getting solder off of a board. It's really is. And let me show you something else. This comes with it. This is a stand that you put it in. Really heavy duty stand. Let me move this. And I'll put this over here. Like this. You can put your soldering gun right in there. Your desoldering tool. And it's a really heavy duty stand that came with it. So yeah, this is a really good deal. Really good deal. So anyway, I just wanted to show you different ways of using the soldering tools. You don't have to start out with a gun if you don't want to. You can start out with this cheap piece. Like I said, it goes anywhere from like $5 to $15 to $10 or $15. I would buy this one before I bought the other one. And then finally this gun over here, I'd say it costs somewhere about $150. Somewhere around there, about $150. And if you buy the really good one, the heavy duty one that they use in TV shops and electronic shops, it's probably going to cost you $250, maybe $3. I can't remember. I don't keep up with the prices anymore. But anyway, I thought I'd make this video and maybe it'll help you out a little. I appreciate you watching my videos. If you would, go ahead and subscribe, because, you know, that helps my channel. I'm trying to get something going here. Not doing a very good job of it. Not a very good at making videos. I'll be honest about that. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching.